I created G-plans out of nutrition frustration. One day during nutrition studies at Duke University, we came across a revelation. We discovered that everyone has a completely unique metabolic structure and type. Eating a generic diet program will not get you the results you want, and you will continue on a path of yo-yo dieting forever. Ultimately, sustainable food programs are built within your own specific metabolic template.
I eat what Dr. G tells me to eat for my metabolic type. I don't call this program a diet because I eat more than on other programs.
Hello and welcome to today's nutrition masterclass. I'm so glad you've joined me today. I hope you're having an awesome week so far. My name is Savannah, of course. I'm a nutritionist here at G Plans, and what we're going to be discussing today for today's masterclass is the importance of consuming healthy fats. So we're going to dive right into that in just a minute. So glad to see everyone chiming in today, saying where you're from. I see Debbie from Albany, New York, Mimi from South Africa, good to see ya, Chantel from Ohio, Meryl and Yolanda from California, Susie from Nevada. Hello to all of you. All right, and then Candelaria, good to see you there too, and Anne as well from Surrey, BC. Good to see y'all. Thank you so much for joining. As a reminder today, so if you have any questions, anything come up throughout today's presentation, please feel free. Go ahead and add that to the chat box today. And at the end of each presentation, I like to take some of your questions and go from there. So we're going to dive right in and get started here in just a minute. All right. All right, so today's topic is the importance of consuming healthy fats. All right, so this is today's table of contents of what we're going to discuss. First off, we're going to define what exactly is dietary fat. Next, we're going to discuss specifically, okay, why is fat so important? After that, I'm going to ask you a little bit for some feedback there and tell me some of your favorite sources of healthy fats that you include. Then we'll move on to discuss the different types of fats and more information about each of those. And then some more tips on how to really prioritize those healthy fats in your diet. We'll close out at the end, of course, as always, with my tip of the week. And then last thing, our weekly special promotion as well. All right. And so as a reminder, so you can feel free, if you have questions, anything, go ahead and add those to the chat box today. But if you have something else, something you might like to reach out to me personally about, feel free to do so. That is my email right there on the screen. First and last name at gplans.com, and that will also be added to the chat box today. So feel free to shoot me an email. All right, so first things first, what is dietary fat? Fat, of course, is one of the three main macronutrients alongside protein and carbohydrates. Our bodies require a balance of these three macronutrients in order to function as efficiently as possible. So, I'll clarify that a little bit. Of course, you'll see different plans where, of course, you might see a super low carb or keto plan. They're popular right now. So, you can function with, for example, a lot less carbohydrates, but it is not ideal and your body won't be functioning as efficiently as it can. So in order to function optimally and efficiently, you need an appropriate balance of those three macronutrients. Fat does provide energy. It helps absorb vitamins and protects our heart and brain health. Fats also play a role in helping to manage our mood, fight fatigue, and control our weight as well. You may have heard in the past that consuming fat can lead to weight gain or health issues, and there are many low-fat products on the market today. It is important to know that not all fat sources are the same, and including healthy sources of fat is essential to a balanced diet. And just one thing to note there on those low-fat products that I mentioned, a lot of these, pretty much all of them, are not going to be a good choice. So we're going to discuss today, of course, the importance of fats in your diet as a whole. But beyond that, those low-fat or no-fat added products, typically what they do is when removing the fat, they go ahead and add in a little more sugar to kind of compensate and change those flavors. So it's not a good trade-off. In general, you're going to do best steering clear those types of products. So, why specifically is fat important? Healthy fats are a vital part of a balanced diet, and they provide energy. They assist with hormone production, very important, nutrient absorption, and cell growth. Fats also help to support brain health. Fat also takes the longest to digest out of the 3 macronutrients. This helps to keep us full and satisfied longer. Consuming the right sources of fats also helps to decrease LDL or bad cholesterol and maintain or increase HDL or your good cholesterol. It's very important to ensure, again, that you're consuming the correct types and the proper balance of dietary fats. Consuming too many more bad fats can lead to health consequences like weight gain or elevated cholesterol, and not consuming enough of the right fats can also lead to maybe blood sugar fluctuations, low energy levels, dry skin, or hair loss. So very important to make sure you're consuming, of course, the right amount for you as well. All right, so share with me. I'd love to hear what some of your favorite healthy sources of fat are. How do you include those in your diet? What are your go-tos? Please share with me there in the chat box today. I'd love to share what you enjoy at the end of our call today. Okay, so the different types of fats. So there are 4 different types of fats. When we refer more to those healthy fats, we're generally talking more about monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. So starting there with monounsaturated fats can help to, again, decrease LDL or bad cholesterol, and some research shows that they can also reduce risks associated with cardiovascular disease. Good sources are nuts, avocados, and olives. Avocados gotta be my favorite there personally. I love some avocados. And next is polyunsaturated fats. Polyunsaturated fats, they can also help to decrease LDL cholesterol, and they'll also help to boost and increase your HDL and good cholesterol. They are a good source of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids that we hear a lot about. These have many health benefits. Good sources of polyunsaturated fats are fatty fish like a salmon, flax seeds, and olive oil. Now, next up is saturated fat. So saturated fat used to be believed to raise LDL cholesterol levels, but now some newer studies are showing that saturated fats also help to boost HDL levels. Again, this is important to know to ensure that you aren't consuming too many saturated fats. So you need a certain amount of saturated fats, but too much is definitely not going to be ideal. So good sources of saturated fats are going to be animal meat, eggs, and maybe dairy products. And lastly here, we have trans fats. So these are the fats that you really want to limit. You want to stay away from as best you can. Small amounts of naturally occurring trans fats can be found in meat and dairy products, but it's artificial trans fats that are considered to be dangerous. This type of fat can raise cholesterol levels, cause inflammation, and increase your risk of heart disease or stroke. The Food and Drug Administration, they've been working for a while now on removing artificial trans fats in commercially prepared food, but it's still important to be aware of and notice on a food label. So, good example here is you might, and again, kind of phasing out of trans fats in a lot of products, so you won't find it as frequently. But years ago, yes, many packaged processed items, a lot of those kind of snack foods, things like that, would all have trans fats in them. But this will be broken down for you on a nutrition fact label. So it's going to show you if there is trans fats in that product. All right, so last thing here, some tips to help prioritize those healthy fats in your diet. So first thing, it's important to ensure, again, that you're consuming the correct balance of macronutrients, including healthy fats. It's really vital to follow a meal plan that helps you to understand the correct portion sizes and the correct balance of an intake for you individually. So these are a few general tips that can kind of help to boost your intake of those healthy fats. But again, at the end of the day, so important to know exactly that balance that you need specifically. So few tips here. First off, have fish a couple times a week. So great way there, of course, to add some variety. So you have a new option added in there. We have a lot of great recipes, including different types of fish on our plans at G Plans. So go ahead and add in a recipe there with fish as your protein a couple times a week. Next, also try avocado toast. Oh, I love avocado toast. Or use an avocado in maybe a burrito bowl or a salad. An avocado as well is a really good way to almost kind of replace maybe some of those creamier dressings, different things that you might have added in, and stick to a much more whole food, healthy fat option. Also, for salads, create your own healthy salad dressing. So rather than getting a packaged, more processed dressing at the store, make your own using olive oil, balsamic, or apple cider vinegar, and add in some seasonings. Definitely have some eggs every once in a while. Of course, eggs are an excellent source of some healthy fats. So having eggs for breakfast at least a few days a week, or maybe have breakfast for dinner. That's a great option if you're short on time as well. We do, again, have some good recipes in the G Plans app. Couple you can add in using eggs for dinner as well. So with your snacks, prioritize more fruit and nuts combination. So fruits and nuts together as a snack is a great idea because, of course, you're prioritizing more whole-based foods and you're getting a really balanced snack. So getting those carbs, fiber, protein, and a little fat as well. And then lastly, use seeds or nuts as a topping for salads, or maybe add them to a smoothie also. So it's just a few ways, different ways you can kind of get those healthy fats in your diet. All right, so this is my tip of the week. don't restrict. So I wanted to mention this today specifically because when we're discussing there are some fats that are maybe better than others. I want to stress that at the end of the day, there's no totally good and no totally bad foods. Certain foods are definitely going to be more nutrient dense and they're going to provide more health benefits. But no foods are truly bad, and I don't want you to get into that mindset at all. Give yourself some flexibility and set a plan around it. Thinking this way in terms of good and bad foods, it can cause a feeling of deprivation and lead to more food cravings. Make sure to allow yourself some occasional flexibility and set a plan around that as to how you can get back on track with your plan afterwards. So enjoy a meal off plan once a week or a different snack on occasion. At the end of the day, it is all about balance and sustainability. So we know that if you're following something that's too restrictive, that is not sustainable over a long term for you, that could very likely lead you to gaining the weight back later on. So focus on the long term. It's all about sustainability and finding a good balance. Know that you can definitely have flexibility, but again, set that plan so you can have something maybe off plan and determine how you're going to get back on track after you do that. All right, so very last thing here is our special promotion for the week. This is an excellent one. So our lean supplement is very popular and we have 50% off our lean supplement today. So that's a really good deal. Lean supplement is a great way to help give you a little boost to your metabolism, help stabilize blood sugar levels. So definitely look out in your email today. Look for the information for this special offer, and you'll definitely want to check that out and take advantage of this. So this is last thing on the presentation today. So if you do have any other questions, anything else to add, go ahead and please add that to the chat box at this time. All right. All right. Okay. Pulling up our questions here. Okay. All right. Yeah, okay, sorry. Meryl, it looks like some of her favorite fat sources are salmon, olive oil, and nuts. Awesome. Leanne, avocados and olives. Oh yeah, I think I'm with you. I love avocados and olives as well too. Chantal says salmon and nuts as well. Kimmy says avocado oil. What about avocado oil? Avocado oil is another excellent source of healthy fats. It's a great one. Yolanda says olive oil, avocados, nuts, salmon, butter, and eggs. Excellent. Yeah. Butter's a great source too. So again, butter is going to have a little more saturated fats, but we know there are great health benefits to saturated fats. We just want to make sure we're limiting that and getting the appropriate amounts. All right. And then Kimmy says, if you have a meal off plan, can you have cheese? That's a good question. So I would stress, of course, in general, our plans are not going to have dairy included because a lot of people do have sensitivities to dairy and it can be inflammatory. So if you do find that maybe when you include dairy that it is triggering to you, if it does cause digestive issues, anything like that, I would say probably be best to avoid that. But if you feel fine with dairy, if that's okay, definitely you can have dairy in that off-plan meal for sure. All right, Leon says, how many coffees can I have a day? That's a great question too. So Leanne, in general, you want to limit your caffeine intake to around less than 400 milligrams a day. So anything about over that 400 milligram limit is when it can start becoming a bit more dehydrating. So a standard cup of coffee generally has about 100 milligrams of caffeine in it. But again, that's a standard cup. So that can vary a bit depending on the coffee and how big your cup is. So just kind of a few factors to take in mind there. We definitely want to prioritize more just water in your day for sure. All right, and Candelaria says, how many eggs can a person eat for a week? That's a good question, and that will vary quite a bit depending on the person also. So again, if you're following your plan in G plans, there's nothing wrong with having an egg-based breakfast every day of the week if that's what you'd like. Of course, the G Plans app, it's going to adjust those portions for you. So it's going to ensure that those portion sizes, again, it's in the right range for you specifically. All right, and then Sones says, what about allergies to bananas and peppers? Sones, if you're talking more specifically about those allergies included in the G Plans app, then you can just let us know about that. We would be able to add those as a restricted food for you, make sure they don't pop up. Or if you do see those come up on your plan, you can feel free to use the swap ingredient button. And of course, the plan's going to give you some other suggested options that you can swap in instead of those. All right, so great questions today. And thank you so much for the feedback, sharing some of your favorite fat sources too. So that is the end of today's presentation. So definitely go ahead and check out in your email after this call that special for 50% off our lean supplement. And I hope you'll join me next week. So I'm live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific time, and we have a totally new topic every week. So I'd love for you to join me. You can always feel free to go ahead and join in and ask any questions that you have as well. So have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday and your week, and I hope to see you again next Wednesday for a nutrition masterclass.